This is a video response to NoBSSurvival. I just subscribed to his channel, I was looking through some of his videos, and one of his more current ones is he does a discussion on what he feels bushcraft is. He said, leave a comment or do a video response. I did leave a comment. I agreed with a lot of stuff he did say, but there's some stuff that I thought, I can expand on that, or if this is just my definition of what bushcraft is, and probably one of the reasons why it's exploded so much. Some of the confusions, I believe, what they are, and some of the reasons that I'm guilty of using the term for certain things, and why other people are doing the same. I have some crib notes. I said because I want to keep things kind of in line. I also have some cool other little things just to guys show you. These were a gift from a family member. So yeah, let's get into it. Bushcraft, the term was kind of developed down by Les Hindis down in Australia. They say there's more Kovansky, became really popular with Ramirez. There are a lot of more intense individuals that say it has to be very primitive. You can't use, certain stuff to bushcraft. You have to start with fires, bow drill, primitive style. I disagree. I've seen Ramirez use sparrow rods. You see him using matches. You've seen, that kind of stuff. He uses tent. He uses more current gear. He's, if you go on his website, he's selling Gore-Tex products. Gore-Tex is not primitive stuff. Another thing a lot of people are saying bushcraft is, and it kind of blends in with survival, and it's to learn bushcraft helps your survival, but I don't think bushcraft is the survival aspect, that 72 hours. If you're in trouble, you got that 72-hour thing. Bushcraft, if you learn those skills, your 72 hours will then turn into, you can expand, but that survival window, I don't think is bushcraft. Primitive skills is another thing altogether. Me personally, I think, like the fire starting, they're very cool tools, very cool hobbies, but primitive skills is its own entity in itself. If you look up the definition on Wikipedia, it says bushcraft covers all of this. I think bushcraft is an ever-evolving thing. You can't say that what they used back in 1800s is right for us now. It's like we should stick to those rules. Bushcraft is an ever-evolving kind of thing. I do hiking, I do camping, hiking, biking. You guys saw me bike. I will do another video, I promise, to do biking into, and then goof around, do some fire starting, that kind of stuff. That kind of video. So because I bike or hike in with modern gear, and I might have, for instance, my 180 stove. I use this instead of an alcohol stove, and I bushcraft, or am I still just hiking in? Am I just biking in? See, that's what I mean. Like, the term bushcraft needs to evolve. There is a group of people that want to keep it. Bushcraft has to be this box. The problem is now it's out there. Everybody sees it. So I think it really needs even small amounts of bushcraft. You have to allow that to be called bushcraft. You have to allow people to use that term bushcraft. I've been guilty of using it. My bushcraft fishing kit Now Dave Canterbury is one of the, he's one of the more current guys. Yes, he's had some shady stuff. I'm not a huge fan of Dave, but he's one of the more current guys to say, hey, this is Bushcraft. He makes this small, compact fishing kit. This is my Bushcraft fishing kit. It should be called compact. I called mine Bushcraft. I was new into Bushcraft. I like the survival, but it should really be called a compact fishing kit. A simple fishing kit. Instead of a rod and reel, so I've called it. So I've been guilty of calling something that really isn't Bushcraft. And I think we do it to reach out to people in the same area that are doing the same thing. Like, a common term is Bushcraft. A common term is survival. If I just said a fishing kit, would it reach the audience that I'm looking for? Probably not. If I said a survival kit, would it reach everybody I'm looking for? No. I'm maybe, but reason I put Bushcraft in that title is so people that I'm trying to talk to see the kit that I'm building. And that's one of the main reasons. What Bushcraft is to me, because I use modern gear and that kind of stuff, I think Bushcraft to me is basically learning Mother Nature. Learning what she's going to supply to you, learning what she is going to put up against you, how to adapt all that. So let's do it in 3 steps, A, B, C. A, identify and collect food. That's a huge Bushcraft thing. Whether it's berries, roots, identifying animals, tracking animals, that kind of thing. That's Bushcraft. B, the collection of tinder and firewood. If you're going out and collecting the tinder, even if you collect the larger pieces and you're using cotton ball Vaseline to start the fire, but yet your tinder on top of that is a little bit larger, or the collection of firewood is that, you learn how to keep the fire going. It's my turn. You can call it firecraft, you can call it Bushcraft, call it what you will. That's, in my term, that is Bushcraft. Again, like I said, probably the biggest thing I think all of us realize of Bushcraft is reading Mother Nature, reading the signs of a weather change, reading the environment, learning to adapt. That, I think, is the biggest Bushcraft there is. Kalahari, the Bushmen, all those guys, they learned to read the environment. Bushcraft is that. As a Bushcrafter, shouldn't we be we should be the front line of saving our environment. Minimal impact. So if you're going out every time, you're cutting trees down to make survival shelters or lean-tos, which you can see I've done. If you look back, I've made lean-to. We did some gathering, we did some cutting. Now, granted, that was on the edge of a clear cut where they're logging. That's probably all mowed down by now, but still, I think Bushcraft is also I don't even want to say that, the learning to minimize your impact while enjoying the outdoors. Hikers are an excellent example of that. They carry in and carry out what everything they carry in, they carry out. actually they're probably better than bushcrafters because they're using alcohol stoves. They're doing this kind of stuff, right? So, I think the term bushcraft gets put around a lot. Guys are talking about using fires and using that kind of stuff. But in fact, what they're doing is they're doing more damage than good. So you have to look at that aspect of it too. Is if me carrying an alcohol stove isn't bushcraft, but I don't have to chop up wood, I don't have to disturb the ground as much. Is that not better? So is that not better than bushcraft? Is your stuff better than bushcraft? I don't know. It's a tough subject. It's got some dynamite behind it. You're gonna piss people off either way you go. I guess my biggest definition of bushcraft is the art or the skill of reading and adapting to your environment. Whether you're hiking in, biking in, camping, if you can identify animals, plants, tracks, you can read the weather changes, you can adapt to the weather changes, you can you can do that kind of stuff, then yeah, I think that's the biggest thing of bushcraft. I got these little pamphlets as a gift, and they're actually very, very good. I was told they're from Lee Valley. They're actually created and printed in the USA. So anything created and printed in North America, I'm all for. They are made by Waterford Press. So if you guys want to order them, the phone number is 1-800-434-2555. I'll put that up on the screen. And I'm not endorsed, I'm not paid by this company or nothing. They're called a Pocket Naturalist Guide. So these are the three I got. So you see mushrooms and then tracking, so wild edibles, mushrooms, and tracking. A word of caution, especially with mushrooms. This is a very simple guide. If you're going to use this, go with someone that's done mushroom picking before, that knows what they're doing. Same with wild edibles. If you take this as the Holy Bible and you go out there, you'll be lucky once or twice, but it's very, very easy to screw up. So go with someone that knows what they're doing. We'll look at the wild edible ones, but I mean, they're totally laminated, waterproof, they're super light. I don't know if you can see all that. They actually, the front and back, they break up the categories: roots, tubers, seashore plants, poisonous plants, desert tropicals, leaves, stems, barks, and then they will tell you what is edible, what are the benefits of them, what time of the year you should look for them. Same with mushrooms. They break the mushrooms into color and poisonous ones and stuff like that. Really nice pictures. They give you a nice general guide on the back of the description of the parts of a mushroom. So yeah, skull and crossbones. I'll show you the skull. They show a little skull and crossbones right there. So it's pretty, pretty nice little kits. The other one that's really cool is animal tracks. Animal tracks. They throw a bear on it. They also show you how to identify markings on trees. And scat, how to identify scat. So, and we're talking everything. We're talking from mice familiar birds, rats, squirrels, raccoons, wolves, right up to, you know, American bison, skunk, everything. You know, all types of deer, how to identify them. They're really nice guides. They have a little ruler, especially the animal track one, so you can actually put it up to the track, and you can say, well, that's a, you know, a 6-inch hoof line, blah blah blah. Go from there. Awesome little guides. I'm really icing. Like I said, they're waterproof. Um, they're light. I mean, they're probably an ounce each. So, I mean, when you're out hiking, camping, doing your thing, me personally, if you have one of these in your hand and you're studying stuff, you're bushcrafting.